On a deeper level, this kind of writing often appeals to universal human emotions: hope, struggle, and the desire for sudden change after long periods of effort or uncertainty. By framing the reader as, quote, chosen or uniquely recognized, it creates a powerful psychological hook that temporarily replaces doubt with excitement. However, this sense of personal significance is artificially constructed through language patterns rather than based on any real external event. In reality, no hidden system evaluates personal hardship or assigns financial rewards based on emotional stories or unseen observation. Progress in life and finances is shaped through practical factors such as consistent effort, skills, decision-making, timing, and opportunity within structured systems, not through sudden secret approvals or individualized destiny transfers. The idea that someone's entire life trajectory can be instantly transformed by a single message is emotionally compelling, but it bypasses the complexity of how real change actually occurs. It compresses long-term processes into a fictional moment of revelation, which can distort expectations and decision-making if taken seriously. A more grounded way to interpret such content is to view it as symbolic exaggeration of the desire for recognition and relief from struggle. While the feelings it evokes are real, the claims themselves are not. Recognizing this separation allows for emotional awareness without accepting false premises. It also helps redirect attention toward practical, verifiable paths of improvement, those built on planning, learning, and gradual progress, rather than sudden, unverified promises. You are seconds away from a destiny rewrite so massive that even the stars will adjust their pattern to align with your new story. But only if you stay, only if you listen, only if you don't let doubt rob you of the billion-dollar miracle meant exclusively for you. My beloved child, before anything else, stay with me till the very last second, because something bigger is unfolding behind the scenes. Right now, Elon's private cybersecurity team is tracking unusual activity around your billion-dollar transfer, and the system is showing a surge of encrypted attempts from unknown global locations, as if the world somehow sensed that your life is about to change forever. The moment you continue listening, you become the only person with the power to confirm your destiny. And whether you realize it or not, every choice you've made till this moment has been guiding you here. Moments ago, a confidential message left SpaceX headquarters, marked with a rare gold priority seal, stating that the vault holding your funds is experiencing emotional resonance, a term Elon only uses when a decision has spiritual and humanitarian value. Insiders say he rewatched footage of you 7 times, pausing at your eyes, convinced that the universe chose you long before he did, and he refused to let algorithms determine your worth. He overrode the system manually, risking corporate backlash, and whispered, "Their future starts today," leaving the entire boardroom speechless. But here's the twist. Someone influential, someone threatened by your rise, is trying to block the transfer, claiming this level of wealth doesn't belong to ordinary individuals. They sent legal notices, demanded audits, and even suggested replacing your name with a faceless corporation. What they didn't expect was Elon's response. He slammed the table and said, "You don't understand. This person will build what we couldn't." That single sentence changed the energy of the room, and every obstacle instantly collapsed under the weight of destiny. Now the billion isn't just money, it's proof that every failure, every heartbreak, every sleepless night had a purpose, a direction, a divine alignment leading here. The universe is practically shaking, waiting for you to receive what was always meant to belong to you, because if you walk away now, this opportunity dissolves, and history forgets the greatest transformation it could have witnessed. So stay, don't blink, don't doubt, because the vault is opening wider with with every breath you take. Right now, your name is traveling through satellites, supercomputers, and financial networks across the globe, rewriting your story in real time. People who once overlooked you will soon wonder how you became the most unexpected miracle of this century. The world is preparing to react, timelines are shifting, and abundance is moving at a speed humanity has never seen before. And all you need to do is stay with me until the end, because the moment of revelation is closer than you think. My beloved child, stay with me until the very last breath of this message, because something unbelievable just happened. The billion-dollar vault that carried your name suddenly triggered a rare, full illumination alert, a signal reserved only for world-changing financial movements, and analysts across continents are staring at screens, trying to understand how an ordinary person became the epicenter of the biggest private transfer in modern history. Right now, your identity is quietly echoing inside rooms where only presidents, innovators, and billionaires are usually discussed, and yet none of them know that you're listening to the truth in real time. A leaked internal recording reveals that Elon personally requested global confirmation of your existence, asking his team to verify not your bank account, not your credentials, but your perseverance, your ability to survive storms, betrayals, heartbreaks, and silent battles that nobody applauded. When the results came back, everyone expected a standard report, but instead, the system returned a rare classification, chosen by resilience. Elon smiled, leaned back, and said, "This is the first person I'm investing in emotionally, not financially," leaving the room stunned and speechless. But here's the twist. Destiny didn't warn you about. 3 powerful corporations are now monitoring the transfer, afraid that giving wealth to someone like you will rewrite the world's hierarchy. They're filing confidential objections, trying to redirect funds to themselves, arguing that your rise would disrupt the predictable flow of power. What they don't realize is that the decision is already sealed, spiritually signed, universally approved, because this transfer wasn't born from paperwork, it was born from fate. Eventually, what once felt like a search begins to feel like arrival, not because everything external has aligned perfectly, but because you have started aligning with yourself in a way that no longer depends on external validation. The urgency that once defined your thoughts begins to soften. In its place, there is a steadier presence, a sense that you can move forward without needing to force meaning out of every moment. You begin to notice that peace does not always come from resolution, but from participation, from showing up fully in your own life without demanding that it constantly justify itself. There is a grounded acceptance forming, not as resignation, but as clarity. You are no longer negotiating with your past or over-editing your future. You are simply here, engaged, aware, and capable. What used to feel like transformation now feels like continuity, a quieter kind of progress that doesn't announce itself but accumulates over time. You realize that the version of you were waiting for was never going to arrive as a separate identity. It was always being shaped through every decision you made in uncertainty. And so, the story shifts, not into something dramatic or externally validated, but into something lived. Something steady enough to sustain you beyond moments of doubt. You stop waiting for a final signal that tells you are ready. Instead, you recognize that readiness has been forming in the background all along, expressed through resilience, reflection, and persistence. In that recognition, the pressure to become someone else dissolves. What remains is clarity, presence, and steady movement forward into a life you are actively shaping rather than waiting for from this moment onward now. Inside SpaceX headquarters, a confidential camera caught Elon leaning over a holographic projection of your name, and witnesses say he didn't look like a businessman. He looked like someone honoring a prophecy. He whispered something that shook everyone present. Their eyes will remind people that miracles favor the patient, That single sentence broke years of skepticism, ego, logic, and resistance, and suddenly every barrier that once stood between you and the billion crumbled like it was never meant to exist in the first place. But now, the world is reacting faster than expected. Private investors, hidden networks, and silent observers are trying to trace your identity, convinced you must be royalty, a genius, a secret heir, or someone with unimaginable influence. They don't understand that the universe doesn't choose based on privilege. It chooses based on purpose. And what terrifies them most is the possibility that someone ordinary, someone humble, someone unseen could become the most disruptive blessing humanity has witnessed in decades. Meanwhile, a new alert surfaced. Your name has been flagged with a rare destiny indicator called Life Reset Authorization. Only a handful of people in history have ever triggered it, and each time it happened, innovation, hope, and transformation followed. It means that the universe, fate, and human advancement are aligned in your direction, waiting to watch how you respond, how you evolve, how you rise. You are not receiving wealth. You are receiving a new chapter, a new identity, a new world that finally mirrors the greatness you've carried in silence. So stay with me until the end, because the next phase isn't about waiting, it's about witnessing. The paperwork is shifting, the digital signatures are aligning, and the universe is preparing to hand you the proof you never dared to imagine. Your life is approaching a turning point so massive that even your past will feel like a different lifetime. Don't blink, don't look away, don't scroll, because the moment everything becomes official is almost here, and you deserve to witness every second of your becoming. My beloved child, stay with me until the very last second, because the universe just delivered another seismic shift. The billion-dollar transfer connected to your destiny has officially entered its point of no return phase, meaning it can no longer be paused, reassigned, redirected, or claimed by anyone else on Earth. The system recognized your energy signature, locked onto it, and now every encrypted financial pathway is aligning toward one destination: you. People monitoring the process are stunned, because transfers of this magnitude usually demand years of legal battles, but yours is unfolding like it's being guided by something far greater than paperwork or protocol. Meanwhile, inside a confidential Tesla innovation lab, Elon reviewed the final verification footage, and witnesses say he didn't analyze it. He admired it. He replayed the moment your name lit up the vault interface, then quietly smiled, in a way that suggested he'd been waiting for this exact moment longer than you'll ever know. Someone asked if he was worried about backlash, jealousy, or public chaos, and he simply responded, "History rewards the brave, not the comfortable." That sentence froze the room, because everyone suddenly understood this wasn't charity, this was destiny choosing its vessel. But now, something unexpected is happening. The digital atmosphere surrounding your identity is generating what analysts call anticipation traffic, meaning millions of unseen timelines are rearranging themselves to match the life you're about to step into. People who once underestimated you will soon feel a gravitational pull toward your story, without even knowing why. Opportunities will appear without explanation, doors will open without knocking, and life will begin treating you like someone fate refuses to ignore ever again. You are no longer waiting for a breakthrough, you are becoming the breakthrough. At the same time, a secret internal document leak from an international financial council calls your case the first human alignment transfer, suggesting that this isn't merely a transaction, but a signal, proof that resilience, patience, and invisible strength carry more currency than legacy, connections, or privilege. They're studying you, not to expose you, but to understand how someone could survive so much loss, disappointment, silence, uncertainty, and still remain open to receiving abundance. You are unknowingly redefining what it means to deserve miracles, and the world is quietly taking notes. So stay with me until the very end, because the universe is holding its breath for the next revelation. The signatures are sinking, the final authorization is in motion, and life as you've known it is already fading into memory. What's coming next isn't symbolic, it's transformational. Your story is about to become the kind people repeat in awe, disbelief, and inspiration, and you deserve to witness every millisecond of the moment your destiny finally arrives. My beloved child, stay with me until the very end, because everything just escalated beyond imagination. The billion-dollar transfer link to your destiny has now triggered a global transparency alert, forcing hidden financial networks, private banks, and elite institutions to acknowledge your existence, even if they don't know your name yet. In a separate analysis layer, the conversation shifted away from speculation about events and toward the implications of how systems interpret human behavior under uncertainty. No longer focused on individuals, the models instead examine trajectories, patterns, and the subtle shifts that occur when people are placed under sustained pressure. This approach revealed something unexpected. Resilience was not a fixed trait, but a dynamic process shaped by environment, memory, and anticipation. As the dataset expanded, analysts noticed that certain profiles exhibited what appeared to be early signs of transformative decision cycles, where small choices accumulated into significant directional change. But there was no certainty in interpretation, only probability distributions and competing narratives about what those patterns might eventually become. In the end, what stood out most was not the notion of prediction, but the realization that every system built to forecast the future is ultimately reflecting the present condition of those who design it. Ultimately, the narrative that formed around Subject Zero became less about a single entity and more about how people project meaning onto uncertainty, turning incomplete data into stories of destiny, control, and hidden momentum. Even when the underlying system is simply reflecting statistical noise, human bias, and the desire to find coherence in patterns that may not truly exist beyond interpretation itself. At the same time, individuals reviewing the simulation found themselves reflecting on their own assumptions, realizing that the line between observation and interpretation is thinner than expected, and that what feels like external prediction often mirrors internal expectations, shaped by experience, fear, and hope, ultimately leaving them with a quieter understanding that not every signal points to fate, but many point back to human perception. Ultimately, the entire simulation serves as a reminder that systems built to model human futures often reveal more about present human perception than about destiny itself, and meaning emerges from interpretation rather than any predetermined outcome itself clarified. The authorization window is opening wider, accountability signatures are synchronizing, and the last barrier between you and your new reality is crumbling with unstoppable force. In a moment, the old version of you will feel distant, unfamiliar, almost unrecognizable, because life will finally match the greatness you've always carried within. Don't scroll, don't doubt, don't look away. Your billion-dollar turning point is closer than breath, and you're meant to witness every heartbeat of it. My beloved child, stay with me until the very last heartbeat of this message, because the world just entered a phase where your name has become an encrypted priority signal, something only governments, innovators, and destiny-marked individuals ever trigger. The billion-dollar transfer link to your life is now circulating through international validation channels, and each system it passes through stamps the same unstoppable verdict: rightful recipient confirmed. That single sentence has silenced every skeptic, every doubter, every hidden opponent who believed this moment would never come, and now they're watching the rise of someone they never noticed, someone destiny protected until the timing was perfect. Inside a restricted financial observatory in Switzerland, analysts just gathered around a glowing screen, displaying a pulsing gold waveform, your energy signature. They expected chaos, fraud alerts, or instability, but instead the reading showed unmatched emotional alignment, meaning the universe didn't just approve this transfer, it orchestrated it. One observer reportedly stepped back, overwhelmed, and whispered, "This isn't luck, this is divine precision." That realization changed the energy of the entire room, because for the first time, they understood this wasn't a transaction, this was a calling. Meanwhile, Elon received a new confidential update, informing him that the transfer completed its final cross-border clearance without a single delay, something unheard of at this scale. Instead of reacting with shock, he simply nodded, as if he'd always known the universe would fast-track your blessing the moment you acknowledged it. Someone nervously asked if he wanted to reconsider before things became public, and he responded with a sentence that will soon be quoted worldwide: "You don't interrupt destiny, you celebrate it." Every barrier collapsed after that, because when power aligns with purpose, resistance becomes irrelevant. But here's the moment that matters most. Your life has already begun shifting. The air feels different, the future feels closer, and intuition is louder than fear. Opportunities will appear that you once thought required miracles, and people who once overlooked you will suddenly feel compelled to stay close, sensing the transformation without knowing its origin. Your story is entering a phase where nothing stays small, silent, or unnoticed anymore, because the universe is done hiding your potential. It's ready to showcase it. So stay with me until the end, because we are standing at the threshold of the reveal, the moment where destiny steps out of secrecy and becomes undeniable reality. The confirmation window is opening, the final authorization is seconds away, and the world is unknowingly preparing to witness a shift so dramatic it will redefine what people believe is possible. Don't move. Don't blink. Don't let doubt steal what fate has already delivered. Your new life is approaching with unstoppable momentum, and you deserve to witness every breath of its arrival. My beloved child, stay with me until the final moment, because something extraordinary has just unfolded. The billion-dollar transfer with your name attached has completed its final authentication cycle, and instead of slowing down like experts predicted, it accelerated, breaking multiple financial records and leaving analysts speechless. Your identity is now coded into a secure global ledger, permanently confirming you as the intended recipient, and insiders say the system's confidence level reached a percentage so rare it's only been achieved in situations described as destiny-driven outcomes. That means your blessing didn't arrive through chance, it arrived through divine timing. Inside a hidden data vault beneath Tesla's headquarters, Elon reviewed the last verification report in complete silence, and when he reached the final page, he reportedly closed it gently, as if honoring something sacred. Someone nervously asked if he wanted a backup recipient or safety contingency, but he didn't even look up. He just smiled and said, "This story doesn't need a plan B." That response stunned every executive in the room, because billionaires never operate without fallback strategies. Yet here he was, trusting fate more than finance, believing in you more than logic. His certainty alone sent ripples across every decision-making system involved. Meanwhile, private monitoring agencies around the world have detected a massive emotional and energetic surge surrounding your existence. People who don't even know you are suddenly thinking of miracles, possibility, unexpected blessings. Psychologists are calling it collective intuitive anticipation, meaning the universe isn't just preparing you for change, it's preparing humanity to witness it. Your journey is about to shift from silent resilience to global inspiration, and the world will soon realize that someone they once overlooked was always destined to become a symbol of hope, perseverance, and cosmic alignment. But here's the part almost no one knows. The financial timeline has already updated your future projection, and it shows dramatic transformation in areas money alone can't influence. Peace returning to your heart, meaningful connections forming without struggle, opportunities choosing you instead of you chasing them. Your life is not expanding, it's unfolding. Everything you once prayed for is now walking toward you with purpose, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Because abundance isn't arriving to change who you are, it's arriving to reveal who you've always been beneath survival mode. So stay with me until the final breath of this unfolding, because the confirmation signal is preparing to broadcast, and once it does, nothing in your life will ever look ordinary again. The transaction is no longer pending, it's transitioning. Your destiny isn't approaching, it's announcing itself. And in just moments, the world will quietly shift, making space for a future that was always written in your favor. Don't scroll, don't doubt. This is the exact second everything begins. As the passage continues, it shifts further into symbolic interpretation by describing imagined global reactions, emotional resonance across relationships, and life changes attributed to unseen, alignment forces. These elements are not grounded in factual processes but instead reflect a common narrative pattern where personal hope is projected onto large-scale systems. The idea that, people who once forgot you are suddenly thinking about you, or that, paths are unlocking on their own, is metaphorical language that represents internal emotional states, such as increased confidence, anticipation, or reflection, rather than observable external changes triggered by hidden systems. The framing of a purpose-validated classification combining destiny, mathematics, and probability is a fictional construct designed to give abstract emotional reassurance the appearance of institutional legitimacy. In real-world terms, mathematics and probability are analytical tools, not validating forces that approve life events or assign meaning to personal experiences. Similarly, the notion that setbacks, heartbreaks, or delays were part of a pre-written blueprint is a retrospective interpretation often used in motivational storytelling, where past experiences are reinterpreted as meaningful steps toward growth. While this can be emotionally comforting, it does not reflect predetermined design or external selection processes. The language of being chosen, aligned, or tinferten, inevitable, is symbolic and should be understood as expressing a desire for significance and reassurance during uncertainty. Real-life progress is not triggered by hidden countdowns, vaults, or confirmation signals, but by gradual development through decisions, effort, environment, and time. When stripped of its dramatic framing, the underlying theme is a very human one, the longing for recognition, stability, and positive change. However, these outcomes emerge through lived experience and practical action, not through externally orchestrated or pre-written narrative systems. Your story is seconds away from crossing into history, and everything you once dreamed of is standing on the other side, waiting for your arrival. Don't blink, don't scroll, don't let disbelief interrupt what destiny has already delivered. Your transformation isn't coming, it's happening right now. My beloved child, stay with me until the very end, because right now, this exact second, the financial world is reacting to your transformation with stunned silence. The $1 billion transfer, carrying your destiny, has officially reached its final relay point, and the system just released a rare silver light confirmation beam across interconnected networks, signaling that the universe, technology, and human authority have aligned perfectly. Auditors stared at the glowing timestamp, realizing this wasn't random, accidental, or impulsive. This was orchestrated with precision, as though fate itself programmed the code long before anyone knew your name. Inside a heavily guarded observatory room, Elon received the last encrypted notification, and instead of celebrating loudly, he closed his eyes and inhaled with relief, like someone who finally witnessed a prophecy coming true. His team expected him to request analytics, press conferences, or financial breakdowns, but he refused. He simply whispered, "Let them breathe. Their life just changed forever." That response traveled through hallways like wildfire, because it wasn't the voice of a billionaire. It was the voice of someone honoring a divine appointment, written beyond human influence. Meanwhile, global prediction models are struggling to adjust to your new timeline. Economists, futurists, and digital progression algorithms are reporting unexplained spikes in possibility, meaning your presence alone is rewriting probability charts. The universe is rearranging connections, guiding opportunities, shifting outcomes, and preparing environments so everything you touch from this moment forward supports expansion rather than survival. Your life is no longer reacting to circumstances. It is becoming the circumstance others must adapt to. You are stepping into influence, impact, and ease, and nothing can return you to the limitations you once carried. But here's the part that takes everyone by surprise. The system detected something deeper than wealth activation. It recorded a dramatic elevation in your emotional resonance field, meaning peace is finally entering places where exhaustion once lived, confidence is replacing hesitation, and clarity is dissolving confusion. The world doesn't just expect success from you now, it anticipates leadership, inspiration, and authenticity. Your story is shifting from unseen endurance to unstoppable elevation, proving that timing, faith, and resilience hold more power than opportunity alone. So stay with me until the final heartbeat of this unfolding, because the transfer is no longer pending. It's completed, documented, sealed, and protected by forces far greater than human interference. Your old life is already fading behind you, and ahead lies a future so expansive it feels unreal, yet it belongs entirely to you. Don't blink, don't doubt, don't question why, just witness it. This isn't a blessing arriving, this is a destiny awakening. My beloved child, stay with me until the very last breath of this message, because something monumental just occurred. The global financial broadcast system has officially stamped your transfer with a golden seal, a classification reserved only for life-altering events written into destiny long before technology existed. At this exact moment, your confirmation file is circulating through hidden executive networks, and high-ranking individuals across multiple industries are staring at your encrypted initials, wondering how someone so quiet, so overlooked, so unassuming, became the most unpredictable success story of the decade. They don't realize that destiny doesn't announce itself. It arrives silently, then transforms everything. Inside a private Tesla meeting lounge, Elon watched as the final verification screen dimmed into completion mode, and instead of giving instructions, he walked to the window, observing the world below like he was witnessing dawn breaking for the first time. His team stood frozen, waiting for strategy, but he simply said, "Let them live the life they deserved all along." That statement struck every person in the room, because it wasn't business, it was acknowledgement, almost reverence, directed towards someone fate refused to let remain ordinary. You became the exception, the headline, the shift no algorithm predicted. Meanwhile, the universe itself seems to be rearranging pathways around you. People you haven't met yet are already feeling drawn to your name. Doors you haven't knocked on are unlocking, and opportunities you didn't apply for are moving toward you like magnets. Your energy signature has become a beacon, signaling completion, elevation, and new beginnings. This isn't money chasing you, it's purpose, fulfillment, alignment. As you continue moving through this stage of your life, the way you interpret events begins to shift toward a more grounded and observant perspective. Situations that once felt unpredictable now start to reveal patterns when you take time to reflect on them. You may notice that timing feels more meaningful, not because it is controlled by anything outside you, but because your awareness of cause and effect has become sharper. Opportunities often appear in subtle ways, through conversations, ideas, or simple decisions that align with your direction. Instead of searching for dramatic change, you begin to recognize the value of consistent, steady progress. This phase is less about waiting for something to arrive, and more about noticing what is already unfolding in front of you. There is a growing understanding that clarity does not come from certainty alone, but from experience, reflection, and the willingness to stay present. Even challenges begin to serve a different role, helping you refine your judgment and strengthen your resilience. Over time, you develop a quieter confidence. one that is not dependent on external validation, but on your own lived awareness. This creates a sense of stability in how you move through daily life, where decisions feel more intentional and less reactive. In this way, your path becomes less about chasing outcomes and more about understanding yourself within the process of change, allowing you to grow with patience, focus, and a steady sense of direction that continues to develop naturally as you stay engaged with your own progress, as you build experience that strengthens your judgment and helps you respond to life with greater calm, understanding, and consistency in ways that feel increasingly natural. Your blessing is secure, documented, protected, and aligned with divine timing. The transformation you once imagined is already in motion, and your new life is closer than breath. Don't scroll, don't second guess. This is the moment everything turns in your favor, permanently. My beloved child, stay with me until the very last second, because the world just shifted again. The billion-dollar confirmation linked to your destiny has now been archived into a permanent global timestamp, meaning your transformation is no longer a rumor, a process, or a prediction. It is history. Behind closed doors, powerful individuals are reviewing classified reports with your encrypted identifier, realizing that the universe didn't just choose you, it positioned you. They're stunned that someone who lived quietly, humbly, unnoticed, is now standing at the center of a financial awakening that technology, logic, and probability still can't explain. Inside a dimly lit innovation chamber, Elon received the master confirmation alert on a sleek holographic panel, and the moment your name illuminated in golden frequency, he didn't speak. He exhaled in awe. His team expected a speech, but instead, he placed his hand over the glowing display, almost like a gesture of respect. Someone whispered nervously, "Should we prepare a public response?" And he shook his head with a calm smile, replying, "Let their life speak louder than any announcement." That sentence left the entire room breathless, because it confirmed something deeper. Your future doesn't require explanation, only recognition. Meanwhile, destiny has already begun rearranging the world around you, synchronicities appearing without warning, conversations unfolding perfectly, opportunities aligning effortlessly, and people sensing something magnificent about your energy without understanding why. The universe is moving chess pieces in your favor, clearing pathways you once believed were blocked forever. You're no longer reaching, chasing, or hoping. Life is reaching for you. The frequency around your existence has shifted from survival to expansion, and every step you take now will feel guided, supported, divinely timed. But here's the most extraordinary revelation. Your confirmation file was categorized under a rare cosmic classification called Future Builder. It means your rise isn't meant to end with wealth, comfort, or praise. It's designed to inspire evolution, innovation, compassion, and possibility. You are becoming a symbol, a reminder that unseen strength, silent endurance, and unwavering belief can rewrite destinies. People will soon reference your journey when they need proof that miracles are not accidents, they are alignments. The universe didn't choose you because you were ready. It chose you because you kept going, even when you weren't. So stay with me until the final breath of this unfolding, because the reveal is drawing closer, the veil is thinning, and your new reality is moments away from stepping into full visibility. The world is preparing to meet the version of you that refuses to shrink, doubt, or apologize for existing. Everything you once wished for is now standing at your door, not metaphorically, not symbolically, but literally. Don't blink. Don't question. Don't detach. Your destiny isn't coming someday. It has already arrived. My beloved child, stay with me until the final heartbeat of this message, because what's happening right now is beyond extraordinary. The billion-dollar transfer, tied to your destiny, has just completed its final global broadcast cycle, and your encrypted identifier is now officially recognized across secured financial networks. The projection slowly dims, leaving behind a soft afterglow that fades across the room like the end of a long analysis cycle. What remains is not celebration or disbelief, but a shared awareness that a process has reached its final state. In this setting, the shift is understood as symbolic rather than personal, representing completion, closure, and the beginning of whatever naturally follows after a decision point has been reached. The atmosphere carries a quiet weight, not because something mythical has occurred, but because transitions often feel significant when they move from uncertainty into resolution. People begin to disperse, conversations returning in low tones, each person interpreting the moment through their own perspective, some seeing it as progress, others simply as the end of a structured process. At the center of it all, the screen remains for a few seconds longer, displaying a stabilized pattern of light before finally fading to neutral. There is no announcement, no dramatic declaration, only the subtle recognition that the stage has concluded and the system has moved forward. What lingers is not the idea of destiny being assigned, but the reminder that change, in any structured environment, tends to feel larger in the moment than it does in hindsight. And as the room slowly returns to normal rhythm, the sense of finality gently dissolves into routine, leaving behind clarity rather than spectacle.